Hello there, and welcome to our special edition of Women Getting Visible. This is the speaker edition for Minneapolis. I'm Christina Vidovich, a visibility strategist, along with Amy Nubson, growth strategist. And today we have the amazing Dr. Cindy Howard. Welcome to the show.
Oh, wow. I would respond. I got to do that in English. I would respond with singing, but then nobody's going to listen. So I'm just going to say thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
See, this is
the voice.
show we're going to have. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be so much fun. And Cindy, I'm so excited that you are our featured keynote for this conference. Where's the roof?
I'm coming.
So, as we don't want to give too much away of what's coming, but tell us what was fascinating to you about the whole conference, the women getting visible, the courage, the clarity, the confidence, and what you're going to be bringing to the room that everybody needs to buckle up for.
Oh, yeah. You know what? So I think I love the title, Women Getting Visible, right? We live in this space sometimes where we feel like we're not seen, we're not heard, nobody knows who we are. I come from a medical type background, chiropractic background, where it was a good old boys network for a long time, right? So constantly trying to scrape and crawl and raise my hand to be seen. And women are such an amazing group of human beings, right? Because we have this amazing ability to continue to nurture everything around us, but still elevate to the top of our game, because nothing can stop us. And I love that about this opportunity. And that's exactly what we're going to do, right? Is we're going to, all of us, the speakers, the participants, the people who are volunteering, like everybody is just going to elevate to the top of what we're capable of doing. And by the way, have a really good time doing it. So we're going to incorporate the fun with the hard work. And that's what got me really inspired to be part of this organization, this group. It's the people. It's not even the organization, it's the people. And just feed off the energy and have a good time and go home learning something.
Yes, and that was the whole point of why we created it. We wanted somebody to take it home, but also have an idea of what to do next, right? And that's how we built this conference, and why we chose Dr. Cindy to be here, because we want you to leave actually practicing it throughout the whole conference and applying it, because these are not complicated ideas. These are take it and go. Run with this immediately.
Yes.
And that's the easy part. The hard part is just to show up, right? To get yourself there. Because when I met Dr. Cindy, I was like, oh my God, I love everything you're saying right now. And I was so excited. I'm like,
okay, so we're going to make this easy, right? Because we think about homework, and homework always has this weird negative connotation, right? Everybody's got a bad story of growing up and doing homework, or sometimes in my family, not doing homework, which has a pretty significant consequence. But we're going to change that. We're going to make this conference work, but more important, life work, right? Lifestyle work. And let's get rid of the word work too. And that's what we're going to talk about, because sometimes work even has a negative connotation. Let's just fix our lives, right? With some good take home, easy things to implement. And that's the key, is it's easy. What I'm going to give you is not hard. It's super simple. I'm going to break it down. There's not going to be one person in the room that is going to say, I can't do this. That's not an option. And then you're going to see how the world around you I'm going to work on my English before the conference, by the way. I'm going to fix that so everything comes out clear. How the world around you, oh my God, I still can't do it. I can't do it. How the world around you, I nailed it. There we go. See, it's just practice. The world around you is going to change, and the light that we all can exude is just going to shine even brighter, because the skills are easy to master when you do have the right messaging on how to actually accomplish it. And you're going to walk out knowing that you can nail this.
And if you haven't noticed, Dr. Cindy is all about the words that you choose to say. Maybe not the flow right now. All of us have been stumbling over our words, right? We're not about perfectionism.
No.
We're about what the intention is and how you speak it, and owning what you speak. And that's what Dr. Cindy is all about, those words that you choose to speak out loud.
And you know what, Amy, what's really great at when I fumble over my words is I actually create new ones, because I'll morph two words together and I'm like, that was actually a really cool word. And then, I throw it back to the kids who have their own set of new words that I don't understand. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't get that word? That's a really popular word. And, we just roll with that. So again, not perfect, but we roll into the creativity of that imperfection to elevate it and make it fun. So yeah, bring your imperfect self to this program. We would love to have you.
Yeah. So what are some of the results that you've seen that when people change, or not change, but they start to evolve their language?
Mm-hmm.
What are the results that people see?
Well, first of all, we feel better. I mean, we deliver certain messages to our brain that allows our brain to understand that we can actually control our emotions, our physical well-being, our burnout. Let's change that word, right? Our
Thank you.
overcome hard things. And it's just wellness, right? So our wellness actually improves. And then all the things follow, like better relationships, like better outcomes at work, maybe new opportunities, whether it's personally or professionally. And when we use the right words and we train our brain to do that, everything else shifts. That's going to be one of my favorite words for the program, shift. Everything shifts in a way that's very positive. And that's the state we all want to sit in, right? Is this positive space of feeling amazing.
Yeah, I love this 100% because that is something I've done now probably for the last 6 weeks, is to make an intentional shift of positive language. And I'll just like you did, just a moment ago, it's like I will actually take the pause to find the right word because I'm like, no, I am finished with those other words. Can we move into that positivity? And it not only feels good, it's just like back to that manifestation. What is it that we are creating by moving into that space? And it's wonderful. So if you had to give somebody one piece of advice that they could take today, just listening here, of one of those word choices that they can have, what would it be?
Me to give away like the secret sauce for the program.
No.
I don't want to do that. I'm not giving away any secret sauce. One word.
Just a little shift.
One word. A little shift. I'm going to give you a word, but it's more about the action. Is that fair?
Yes.
Awareness.
Yes.
We need to have awareness, because when we have awareness of what we say, what we do, what we think, what we feel, then we can decide if it serves us or not. And if you're unaware, you're unaware.
I think that's such...
show up for the real juice. That's just a little off the cuff juice.
But that's an important one, right? I remember when I was my first career, I was getting very negative. I was getting actually harassed at work, and with that all, I became very kind of like pulling on that toxic energy, and I was starting to become a very negative person. Till one of my coworkers goes, "Amy, you're always talking in a negative way." And I'm like, "What?" And I'm like, "Can you give me an example?" And she did, and then I started being aware of what I would say, and I'm like, oh my gosh, when did I get this way and how do I change it? And it took a lot of awareness and being conscious of that to shift out of that language, because my environment didn't change. I had to change my language.
It's so true. And the easiest way I can get people to start to think about this is actually about food and diet. Let's think about this, right? Like half the world wants to lose weight and part of the world wants to gain weight, and nobody's happy with what they look like, right? And we have this whole space of food. And even in my private practice, we talk to patients all the time. I'm like, okay, what did you eat? And they go, I eat healthy. I'm like, okay, great. Tell me what you ate. And they're like, well, I had like sausage and an egg McMuffin for breakfast. And then, I reached into the candy jar at work. And I'm like, okay, where is the healthy stuff? Like, you just told me you ate healthy. And again, we walk through our day putting food in our mouth, not aware of what we're consuming, what it could do to us, right? And if we think about language in our workspace and our personal space as the food that we're consuming, right? We go through our whole day, maybe just grabbing that one little piece of candy, or, that little fried French fry instead of the sweet potato. And at the end of the day, we think we ate really healthy because there was some fish in there and maybe a banana. But really, right, the language we use and the attitude that we take, to your point at work, was so negative, so wrong, bad choices, that because there's a couple good things in there, we don't pay attention. So the awareness helps you really recognize what space are you living in. What kind of food are you putting into your body and your brain? Kind of makes you hungry now, doesn't it? Like, don't reach for the candy. No candy.
Yeah, it is. It's one of those things where, the choice is yours. And the awareness has to be a part of it. And that's why clarity is such a big part of this conference is that's your awareness.
Yes.
And it's not always just this big aha. Sometimes you're like, and sometimes it's the word where you repeat too often too. They like, and I remember going to tell, like somebody's like, you say this word a lot. I'm like, I do, don't I? I'm going to just change this up a little bit, like have a little more fun, add more vocabulary into my language and see where I can go. I made a game out of words.
Okay.
And why not? I was told I was not a good at English and spelling and words were not my friend as a kid. And I'm like, now I have a huge vocabulary.
Nice.
Because I made it fun.
Yeah. And you said something really key as you were responding to my comment, and that is we actually have a choice. And when we choose to do something different, there I go again, making up my own words, Diggins. That was like different. Okay. Different, bigger, better, bolder, brighter. It's amazing what we really do have control over, that a lot of times we forget that, right? And we don't give ourselves that permission to have the control. We just become victim and go, well, not my, nothing I can do about it. And that's 100% wrong, right? We always have a choice. So I love that you made that transition. Did that person finally admit that you went from negative to positive? Like, are they still in your life?
Not anymore, but because I left that job a long time ago. But yeah, she did notice a huge shift in me. And we made an agreement. I go, please catch me when I'm doing that. And so she was my like accountability partner. And she'd be like, Amy, you're being negative again. I'm like, ooh, let me try again. And so she helped me get out of that habit. And so it was really helpful to have somebody there to catch those words that I was missing.
So she was your swear jar. You know the jar that like you have in the house that you got to put $1 in when somebody swears? She was your swear jar. Everybody needs one of those.
We do. I'll have to tell her that.
Make swear jars, but that would have been a good gig for me to bring a swear jar for everybody to the conference. Nobody's getting one of those. I don't have time. Just okay. You have to get your own. Make your own. Go to the dollar store and buy a jar and decorate it with a Sharpie marker. You got your own.
Or you just have one jar and it's yours. You got to put it in.
Ooh, you know what? Maybe we can raise some money for the cause. So every time somebody drops a swear word at the conference or says a negative something, we're going to have
How about negative word? How about negative word?
Yeah, I was going to say, wait a minute. I'll be adding things to the jar.
We're going to raise like millions of dollars. I hope the second half of the conference we raise $0 because we got it right. How's that?
Yes.
So we get our money fast.
See, the things that you can create when three minds get together and the play and the ideas come together and you get a swear jar that, you can participate with for charity. I love it.
All right, good. We're going to work on that, I think. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe one of the attendees can bring a really cool one and share it with all of us.
That would be an awesome thing.
All right, we'll see if anybody shows up with a negative swear money jar.
The conference is getting more interesting by the moment.
Right? Nobody knew. That's the secret.
When you step into the room.
Yes.
That's so much fun. So, actually, one of my questions for you is like, you have been on the speaking circuit. How long have you been on it? And what was your motivation to get out there and start giving your messages?
Oh, so I've been speaking in my medical continuing education space for probably 16 or 17 years. And the motivation, actually, it's funny. I sort of fell into it on accident because I was part of a postgraduate education program, and my mentor who was teaching some of the classes was unable to teach and basically just said, hey, will you fill in for me? And I showed up with like butterflies and I couldn't get 3 words out and I was nervous, like that whole thing, right? That public speaking thing. And it's interesting how many people are afraid to do that. The vulnerability of standing on stage because it's that, will they like me? Will they throw tomatoes at me? Right? Like what if I don't deliver? and the reality is sometimes we deliver big and sometimes for some people we just don't, right? About 3 years ago, I started to move into more of the keynote space for a couple reasons. One is, and I love the space I'm in for continuing ed, but I need a new challenge and I get bored, if you will, and I'm still very good at it, but I get bored and wanted something new to do. And I also wanted to move into a space where I got out of being in front of doctors, physicians, and in front of people that are just really stuck, you know, and it doesn't matter what you're stuck with, but there's this, and it's very cliche. It's the, like, if I say one sentence, if I tell one story, if I have one suggestion that changes the way somebody moves through the rest of their life in a way that positively alters them, name of my book, it was worth it. It was worth it. And what I learned, which was also really cool, is the speaking for me feeds my soul. It's my ultimate high. There's nothing I love more than standing on stage. And what I learned from the response of the people that I'm with also helps me to continue to grow. So there's this bi-directional energy of helping others and at the same time helping myself to just elevate and feel good and feel, you know, we all want to feel important and that we provide value. And that space of speaking does that for me. So I get off stage and, like, I mean, you know, don't ignore me, come talk to me, but, like, I can walk around with this high for, you know, hours afterward that I just can't find anywhere else. So it's been an awesome journey, and one that I hope you know, one day when I have Alzheimer's and I don't know who I am, I'm still going to stand up on stage and tell dirty jokes that are inappropriate, and somebody's going to have to get me off because they're inappropriate, and I won't care because I won't remember telling them, and that'll be okay.
And you'll do it the next day again and again, right?
As long as somebody says, will you, the answer will probably be yes. Or I'll be one of those crazies on the street corner of, like, you know, like with my negative swear jar now collecting money for my bad speaking jokes on the street corner. So I'm not going away. It's just, I guess, a matter of what the audience will look like at some point. We'll see.
Well, I love how you brought it from, like, super nervous to all those butterflies to, like, and what people don't realize a lot of times is you still have those, even though, you know, even as seasoned as you are, getting up on stage, there's always that moment, but then it's the after it rides and you're just like, okay. And I was terrified of public speaking. And I'll be honest, I couldn't believe how exciting it is when you're done. You're like, I want more of this.
Yes.
I want more. And you're like, how can this become addicting when you started out with incredible fear? And it's one of the most fascinating things about public speaking.
I don't know who said it, so I can't give credit because I don't know, but it wasn't me. But there was something that I heard or learned one time that said that even the greatest, biggest speakers, right, the biggest names you can think of, still get that nervous energy and those, like, butterflies before they speak. And I went, see, I've made it because I have those, right? So, like, you know, you go, it's okay. Like, you never reach that point, which I actually think is good, because when we get complacent with what we do to the point that we're never nervous, I actually don't think we shine. I think we take for granted the skills that we have and we settle in them instead of saying, you know what, I'm really excellent at what I do, but today I'm going to do just a little bit better and I'm going to try to give a little bit more. And it's that nervousness of the how do I give a little bit more that I think helps us elevate. So I love that we get kind of, you know, and again, anxious isn't necessarily my favorite word, but like excited, like that nervous excited. Is really fun to lay into. So when you see me at the conference, if I'm pacing back and forth and I'm doing this because I got a hot flash, or I tell you I have to pee because it's usually a nervous pee, you know I'm ready to go. If I'm, like, sitting in the chair totally calm, like, you know, not caring, then you should probably fire me before the presentation. You'll see me pacing. I'll be nervous. It'll be okay.
I love it. I love that in so many ways. You know, and just that little piece that you're talking about is like that twist that bring it up that next level, because that's one of the things Amy and I talk about when we're teaching people about speaking. Is like, okay, because when it starts to become rote and you're just reading from the script and you already know, it's like, yeah, it's lost it. But it's like when it's coming from here and that next experience and that next, like, what is it? And you're trying, because you never know how it's going to land with this audience. It's such a great place to play. And you have opportunities that, you know, why not? Why not use those? And so getting out there and being visible, the question that is up next for you, Cindy, is why does visibility matter?
Oh, wow. Well, I can give you the self-serving answer of because I want to be recognized, right? And
Yeah.
there's some honest truth to that, right? Is I would love to be, remembered. I would love to be recognized. I would love to be, invited back, right? There's that selfish, self-serving reason to be visible. But I think the other reason to really be visible is to help others gain the same visibility, right? It's to be able to show that when we speak up, when we are who we are, when we say what we want to say, we don't all, and chances are we won't agree, right? We don't have to agree, and there's lots of debates, but it's this mutual respect and camaraderie that I think we can establish when we all stand up and we're seen together that creates growth and amazing relationships. So like everybody in the room should be visible, everybody, not just the person on stage. And if we can lead by example, demonstrate that. And again, somebody, it's interesting. I was on a call today, yesterday, I don't know, all my days run together. And one of the speakers was talking about how she's been involved in this organization for many years. And she just kind of sat back, right? Like she didn't participate. She never raised her hand. And then all of a sudden one day there was like a competition where she could tell a story and she just decided to go for it, right? And then her whole world opened up. And, you think like, how sad that she just sat back for a while and didn't get the opportunity. But then I'm thinking, not sad at all. She was learning and processing and realized, and then something must have happened, whether it was an interaction or an event that inspired her to do it. And then like 0 to 100, she just excelled, right? So our time frames to do this is also very different, and with no judgment at the speed we should run. But sometimes even silent in the back of the room is still the ability to be visible because you showed up. And like, it's so cool. Everybody that's going to be in this room is absolutely 100% visible. So whether you're loud or you're quiet, or like me, you're going to wear something flashy and, or you're very conservative in the corner and you're wearing your blue and nobody pays attention to your clothes, you're still being seen. And remember that is we're all visible, and it's really important to be so.
Mhm. Yes. And,
Now, like I need you to expand the keynote with all this good information.
yes. Yes. And that's the thing is that's really important. It's all about the timing too, right? Like, there are people that sit back and have to absorb and think about it, and they're kind of processing, and then they come and then they show up, right? And then there's some of us like we're just like, whoa, we probably should have waited a little bit, but we jumped on stage and we did this and we're like, okay, we're doing this now. Like we're ambitious and spontaneous. That's okay. That's what I love about what you just said. Visibility is your own personal journey.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're all speaking to here is be you, but definitely show up for your own life. And if this interests you, come and join us in the room because there's going to be so much like fun and entertainment and laughter and sparkles to jeans. Like it's going to be everything and everywhere, like that's the beauty of this.
Yes. And that quiet visibility is just as important as the loud one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Couldn't sum it better myself. Oh my goodness. Well, this has been absolutely incredible. Thank you, Dr. Cindy, for joining us today on this special speaker edition of Women Getting Visible. I'm Christina, joined with Amy, and we will see you in Minneapolis, June 2nd through the 4th, 2026, in the room.
Share your story.